It's Wednesday night. It's October 4th, 2023. So you know what that means. A brand new episode of the Kicking Out Podcast, streaming live on the Kicking Out Podcast YouTube channel and on our Twitter X page. Like, subscribe, follow, hit that notification bell, do all those things if you haven't already. I'm Tanner Lee, along with Paul Zartman and Austin Shepard. And I am the new reigning and defending KLP Predictions champion, but I don't have the championship with me. Unfortunately. So
possession is 9/10 of the law, my friend.
That's the saying, isn't it?
It's in the mail.
Yep.
It's in the mail. All right. I'll expect it next year.
What does that say right there, though?
It should say, well, it says champion. That might change by the end of the show. So,
I only lost 4 points.
It was the first time I've ever got a perfect card.
Oh, first?
So,
Yes. Yeah. I had fun with my predictions. I came nowhere close to being accurate, but they were fun. I don't think I've ever gone that crazy with my predictions before, so it was nice to just say screw it and just let it all go.
I like the strategy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
It did not, but that's okay. I had fun.
Yeah, that's all that matters, right?
Yep.
Now we are all each 5-time champions, I believe, if my records are correct. So
Five-time champions.
we got some comments on YouTube already from Majin. Said, as seen on Dynamite tonight, this is a Canadian show, so allow the Canadian to ask, what's everyone drinking tonight?
Shep, start us off.
I got a new drink.
Red bottle.
Yeah.
I got a new drink because Kettle One's a bunch of not nice people.
We're not going Christian Cage just yet.
No, we'll get there. But
on vodka day too.
I got a new drink this weekend when I was at the Jelly Roll concert. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Shep went to Jelly Roll, and that dude's amazing. He's a huge human being, but what an awesome individual. There's a freaking fly fire in there. But
there it went.
Yeah. I said frickin'. But what awesome human being. But anyways, we're gonna have a little Maker's Mark whiskey, and this bottle was new at the start of the week, so we're gonna get a little of that in here. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Whiskey on a vodka night or on vodka day. This is
and
weird.
then little lemon lime soda. Okay. Then here's the key. Here's the key. And these things are a pain in the butt, but I'm gonna get them here. Hold on. Just a couple little maraschino cherries. There we go. Oh, there we go.
We're getting fancy up in here on KLP.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
This is let's go with another one here. Hold on. There we go. I got fat fingers and they're not fitting in there very well. All right, stir those in there. Man. Ooh. All right. We got some ice in my backup drink to wash my hands here. So, I mean, since Kettle One, which, I mean, it is a backup for me tonight once I drink this, you know?
There's the vodka.
Little whiskey. Ginger ale is my preferred, but the liquor store and the 2 gas stations between the golf course and my house did not carry ginger ale. So we go with lemon lime soda next. And a little maraschino cherries. Salute.
Cheers.
Red Solo cup.
I have nothing fun tonight. I have water and a Yeti. So very boring. Very boring.
I have apple juice in a bottle of tea or in a tea bottle, and then Pepsi when I finish that off.
I got a funny story actually about this drink. So I picked it up last week, Thursday night football. Met a bunch of guys at the local Elks Lodge, and they were drinking these, and they turned me on to them like, oh, that's pretty damn good. Friday, I go to Jelly Roll. My wife took me there for my birthday. She was really impressed with everything involved with Jelly Roll. But anyways, I kept on drinking these, and it was a lot easier at the bar at the amphitheater to drink these, and they're really good. So the next morning there was a golf tournament that I had to play in. And also Tanner, Paul knows I'm a pretty big golf fan. The Ryder Cup was on. So at 8:30 in the morning, an hour and 20 minutes before my tee time, I got a little bagel sandwich, which we have a badass bagel shop here in our local lovely little town.
Yep.
And I made one of these. And I started drinking, and that quick, it kind of just steamrolled or not steamrolled, snowballed from the night before. And then there was some Fireball. Anyways, me and my partner shot 59 on Saturday and ran away with the tournament. And then about 5 o'clock, I went to bed. So anyway, here we go. This might be the new one. This might be the new drink. Although I don't think I can drink the quantity of this because it's got pop in it, where I normally drink club soda.
Yeah.
But we're gonna drink one tonight.
Yeah, I think if you could find, which most grocery stores have it, if you can get the ginger ale, especially the sugar-free one, I think you'd be good to go there because it probably wouldn't fill you up like pop does. So,
yeah.
But yes, did you have one of those during WrestleDream on Sunday?
No. Well, no. We had some vodka. I fell asleep through 2 matches and woke up for the main event. And was able to watch the main event and the ending of said match. And it was worth it. There are a couple matches I had to go back and rewatch, which I don't think I missed much actually now we're rewatching them. So
Majin giving a shout to Marty there.
See, I knew Majin was a modern McSwirly fan. He has a jersey and he just don't want to tell us about it.
Probably.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of WrestleDream before we get into tonight's Dynamite? Overall, did you think it was a good card?
Peaks and valleys. Had the star power. A couple matches weren't the greatest. A couple matches really, really were good. Overall, above average pay-per-view.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I mean, I think AEW's been on a hot streak lately with their pay-per-views dating back till Forbidden Door. I think they've put 4 in a row, pretty good ones. There was a couple matches I thought, I'm like, why are we doing this tonight? It could be on Dynamite or Collision. For example, Ricky Starks, Wheeler Yuta. Don't think that was needed on the pay-per-view.
No.
But most matches I thought were pretty good. I've got some classics. I thought Swerve and Hangman was really good. I thought Danielson and Sabre Jr. was amazing.
Oh, man.
And I like the main event, too. I know some people didn't enjoy the main event, but, I mean, Darby makes me cringe taking a bump like that on steel steps with his back, but I enjoyed it.
Let me ask you
his head got me more.
If Tony didn't pull off the signing of Adam Copeland, there's no way that would have been the main event, right?
Correct.
Only reason that match was the main event.
And being Seattle Boy, which they had 3 of them, though. I mean, Danielson's Seattle Boy, you could have put him in the main event.
If Adam wasn't involved, it would have been better to have Danielson and Sabre as the main event. That would have made way more sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
I enjoyed the tag match that the Bucks won. I thought that was a lot of fun. FTR's match was all right. Against Aussie Open. I mean, it was good in ring. Don't get me wrong, even though Mark Davis got hurt, but I don't know.
He snapped his wrist.
Yeah. I thought Cash might have got hurt too, but I haven't read anything. I did think the trios match let me down a little bit between Callis family and Omega, Jericho, and Ibushi. Just with the amount of talent that was in that match, I thought it was a little flat. But no, overall, I give it about a B+. I enjoyed it.
Now, I will say I was okay with the Starks Yuta match being on the pay-per-view for one reason and one reason alone. We got Moxley on commentary, and he was
awesome on commentary. I just love the fact that Mox thought covering the mic, he could say whatever he wanted if he covered the mic. You could still hear him clear as day.
I got fined for this earlier.
he was
I
great.
can't tell you exactly what I said, but
Yeah. One of the it wasn't Mox, but it was Nigel McGuinness. Was the Christian Cage has done what he has done for turtlenecks is like what Britney Spears did for the showing thongs in the 80s. I mean, where did that come from?
Yes.
Loved it though.
Yes.
Nigel sounded like he's going to cheer on Danielson and then says, oh, come on, Danielson, think about your wife and kids.
And then Moxley stood up and dropped an F-bomb right there.
F this guy.
Do that.
Imagine Danielson still further cementing his claim for best in the world by putting on these bangers while still recovering. Yeah, he and Sabre are the two best technical wrestlers in the world. I don't think there's any arguing that.
Let's take AEW out of the picture. There was nobody in WWE that could challenge him like he's been challenged.
No,
by guys like Omega, Mox. Yeah, Mox has a different style, not a technical style. He can wrestle technical, but that's not his go-to. But to see this match with Zack Sabre Jr., I want to see an Ospreay match so bad right now with these two guys.
And Danielson was in tears after this match, saying this is the type of match he's always wanted to wrestle, and there's got to be a rematch. We just don't know if it's going to be in England or Japan. So,
and him hugging Aubrey there for a second, I went, all right, is he officially done now? And then she tweeted that, it was so great to be there for that moment. And I was like, what? And then
I saw a tweet. Aubrey was in the crowd in 2011 when he announced, was it 2011?
13.
Oh, 13, sorry.
When he announced his retirement.
11. Aubrey was in the crowd in 2013 when he announced his retirement, and she was crying.
Right.
Yeah.
So what a full circle.
Yep.
All of a sudden now she's officiating this match in the hometown to arguably the best wrestlers in the world, and she gets to call the match. Gets to officiate the match. So yeah, that was a good moment between those two. It was, obviously she was emotional and good for her.
Yep.
Her pants fit. Let's just say that.
We haven't seen him, have we?
I wonder why.
Yeah.
He was on 0 Hour and BTE this week, and that's been it.
That's okay.
Okay. I didn't notice him tonight, so.
No, I was watching for him. I was watching for him because Matt said something on BTE this week about, I got a special surprise for you guys. And so I was interested to see if he'd show up tonight. No Knox.
I thought he'd be in the opening match tonight, which was Ray Phoenix defending the AEW International Championship versus Nick Jackson. But before that, we got a backstage segment with Renee Paquette was interviewing Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega when Adam Copeland showed up. And he pretty much said, great to see you, Renee. Good to see you again, Chris. Introduced himself to Kenny. So pretty cool little spot there. A lot of Canadian firepower right there in one TV screen.
The facial, the reactions by Omega and Jericho were priceless. Absolutely priceless.
Yeah, it was good stuff. And and we didn't even really hit on that. What did you guys think of Adam Copeland's debut at WrestleDream? How it was pulled off?
Oh, it was fantastic. We always talk about the fact that I pay attention to the little details. The Mania like fireworks in the background. If you didn't catch him driving over it saying rated R, that should have helped give it away.
The rated R. And I was trying to figure out what those fireworks were. I think the Seattle Mariners won that night when they were filming that, and the fireworks were coming up from the Mariners Stadium.
Okay. All right.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
All right. Well, I thought it was a stab at Mania, so
I mean, it could be. Maybe I'm thinking too simple about it, but I'm pretty sure where that stadium is. I think that's what it was.
The best part is Darby helped film that vignette, and I think he said it in his media scrum that he flew in on Friday, filmed it, and then he snuck out Saturday night for some food. And a young fan recognized him,
Mm-hmm.
and he went up to the fan and said, "Hey, this is between us." And he says, "I got you. I'll keep it between us." And the kid did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we all speculated it, but normally when you're on a Saturday night, if you're in the same town as the pay-per-view and you're out having a meal, it's going to hit social media and it's going to hit the dirt sheets and et cetera, et cetera. But, I don't know if that fan was 6 years old, 10 years old, 14 years old, 20 years old, because 20-year-olds are young now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But kudos to that fan that recognized him and said, "All right, I got you. I'll keep it under wraps." So kudos to him for not just, leaking it to one of the dirt sheets and then it spreading like wildfire.
Majin said it was. Darby said on that on Media Scrum. What did Darby say exactly? Is that about the fireworks or what's that comment there?
I don't know. Like I said, I know Darby helped him film that.
Yeah, he did. And there was some pictures that came out today of Edge helping hold the guy in the back of the van that was filming it too. So,
hey, and I think he also made a comment. Darby took you to some
some sketchy parts.
Wasn't as comfortable as most.
Yeah. So, but no, I thought that was fun. Really glad they kept Metalingus, Alter Bridge, who they're really good friends with Edge. Kept that theme, altered at the beginning a little bit. Instead of "You think you know me," it's "You think you know him," and that's Beth Phoenix's voice.
His wife.
That's his wife.
Yes.
Yep.
That voiced that, so that's pretty cool.
In the note he left on the fridge, which I think I sent you guys. He left the note on the fridge. I don't know if you can bring that up, Tanner. I think that is probably one of the. I think I sent it to you guys, but
yeah, I can find it.
Yeah, he's got multiple screens there, so he can go to X.
It's Twitter.
X.
I'm not going to XXX, Paul.
Something about B.
Yes, I got it here.
I'm on my way to let the dog out or something. I'm going to go walk the dog.
Taking the dog or heading to take the dog for a walk. Be back soon or something like that.
Yeah, I got it here. Yep, B heading to walk the dog. B back in a few A, and it's the A on walks capitalized, the E on B, and the W on few, so it lines up to AEW. So pretty creative there.
She tweeted that right after his debut, and I thought it was pretty good. That's pretty slick.
Yeah, it was. So
and TK tweeting that he's all elite right after he hits Nick with the chair.
Yes, which I like the Nick Wayne heel turn. I think you could see it coming. I mean, it makes sense, though, story-wise. I mean, they kept explaining how his dad and Darby had a falling out. And story-wise, why wouldn't he be mad at Darby? Darby let the guy who broke into his house and beat him up, AR Fox, he forgive him. So why wouldn't Nick still be mad at Darby? It makes sense.
Here's the best thing. They're gonna. I can't wait till the storyline concludes where Christian Cage is dating Nick's mom.
Yeah.
It's already there. He's gonna start calling him dad. Like, you're gonna call me dad.
Well, maybe
that's a little too. Is that a little too attitude era? But
it's a little bit. But he is the rated R superstar.
I love how they got to keep that too, because
the
WWE did not copyright that since 2020. Trademark.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You brought up Majin's tweet about Adam's daughter, and it got me thinking about him. It's called Christian, the rated R superstar. There you go. That's great. But I saw something. The internet. The people on the internet are weird sometimes. Not
more
you,
times
Majin,
than not.
Fine. But I saw something where somebody actually went and looked up who Edge or Adam Copeland's dad was, and he said he never really knew him. And then it was just that picture of Christian where he just pops his eyes up over the ring. Yeah, and it said storyline coming soon. And I'm like, God, leave it to the internet.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, there's going to be plenty of layers to their soon-to-be rivalry. Not surprising, Adam Copeland's new shirt on shopaw.com is the #1 weekly seller. And then for the month, it is #3, but it's the #1 for a t-shirt. And for the year, let's see if it's cracked the top 10 for the year. That'd be pretty impressive. It's not in the top 10, but it's 12th for yearly sales
close.
already. So
4 days since it went on sale,
yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. So
or 3 days, excuse
he
me.
is a popular dude. So big name, big gift for AEW. I'm interested for Sean Ross Sapp to get the details of how long his contract is, because he is going to be a full-time performer. He's going to be there pretty much every week, so different than he was in WWE. But I'm interested, is it a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year? What is it? So,
Well, they said he will be on Dynamite and Collision.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and he's the middle face on the Collision graphic on most of them going forward. So, Majin here. Speaking of Christian, did anyone catch on WrestleDream when they had the tribute to Inoki, how the camera cut to the back and Christian was watching? Yes.
Yeah.
That was a nice little touch there. That was pretty funny.
Yes, that's Christian's new gimmick. I'm going to be everybody's daddy.
Yep, and he's diving right into it. All right, let's
Yes.
get back into Dynamite tonight now that we've kind of give our thoughts on WrestleDream. AEW International Championship match kicked off the night. Ray Phoenix versus Nick Jackson. It was a rematch from I think it was the 8th Dynamite ever. It was in Indianapolis. Paul and I were fortunate enough to be there in 2019, which was a banger of a match then. But Paul, I think tonight's might have topped that match.
Yeah. And I mean, Fennec's still dealing with a little bit of an injury to come
Sure.
out and put on a match the way he did. And Nick still, sore. We find out later on in the show that he left after the show because of injury. So, yeah, I mean, these two put on a banger of a match once again, like they always do.
Their chemistry is amazing.
Perfect.
This is the type of style I like. I like high flyers, athletic. I mean, I like a lot of different styles, but this is, if I had to pick one style to watch, it'd be this. I could watch these guys wrestle every day. There was a few close calls. I thought Nick Jackson might take the title.
I did too. I actually had stepped out of the living room at the end of the match, and I didn't hear Ray's music come in right away. And I went, yeah, Nick just took the belt off of him.
And then after Phoenix hit the frog splash, I thought it was over, but Nick kicked out, and then they went back and forth with some roll ups, and that's how Phoenix eventually got the 3 count on him. So, but very fun opener. I mean, nothing to complain about in this match for me. Majin, and call me crazy, but I think Nick is the better of the Bucks. Oh no, I agree. I think
Absolutely.
I think Nick is the better of the two. I think if they ever went their separate ways, which I'd never see them doing for singles runs, I think Nick would be a great babyface and Matt would be a good heel.
And I'm just going to say this because I've said this on the record before. If your name is Matt and you have a younger brother and you go into wrestling, you might as well just be prepared. Your younger brother is going to be better than you.
You're gonna be a little more athletic and probably a little more popular.
Yes.
Not that Matt Jackson's not popular or Matt Hardy, but Jeff Hardy's definitely the more popular one. And if I had to pick, I think if I had to do a poll with the fans, I think Nick Jackson would be a little more popular than Matt. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
After the match, we saw, the first attempt didn't go too well with the audio issues, but eventually they got the audio figured out and replayed it. We saw Adam Cole showing up at Roderick Strong's home. He got Cole a scooter, so he can put his leg up. They can both be on wheels, and slow motion video, they're racing each other around the house, and Taven and Bennett are looking real annoyed with the stuffed giraffe. And then, Adam Cole's trying to leave, and Roderick said that Cole needs him, or he needs Cole to move some furniture. So the Kingdom says, you do owe him one, so you move some furniture. And then Strong says that's just what best friends do. Then Cole tries to leave, and Roddy pretty much tells Adam he needs him still.
So I know what they're trying to do here with this vignette. They're trying to get the same reaction they got with Cole and MJF, but it wasn't the same.
It wasn't.
And nothing against Roderick Strong and Taven. I thought it was weird Taven kept stroking a fuzzy draft.
Yeah, it was a little odd.
It was odd. And then at the end he had the people's eyebrow going. Thought that it just didn't. It wasn't good. We got 3 or 4 Buchacho vignettes, right? And those were just golden. They printed money.
Yeah.
This one here, I could have done I heard the volume at first, and I think the volume we heard was what the arena heard.
Correct.
Yes.
And so it was very echoey and very light, but we still heard it. So I could have definitely done not done without the replay. Nah, I was over it. Fast forward through that shit.
Yeah, and I think I was with it. I mean, this wasn't as entertaining to me as the Better Than You Baby vignettes are, but with what we saw later on in the show, it made sense why they showed this, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that, Roddy's still yelling at him, and Cole's like, I'm right here. You don't need to yell.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he's a foot away or 100 feet away. He's yelling at the same volume. So
Yep.
And Roderick Strong does not have the charisma that Adam Cole, MJF, or even Matt Taven. I'll give Matt Taven a little credit. I like him. He doesn't fit this role of the vignettes. It's almost awkward. Definitely not taken away from the guy's in-ring ability, because we all know what he can do there. But this is a part of his game he's got to work on, and it's just, I don't want to say it's cringeworthy, but it's pretty damn close.
Well, I think it's annoying, and I think that's what they're going for. We want to view him as annoying, and I'm kind of going to disagree with you here, Shep. I mean, the character's not really for me, but I think Roderick Strong finally has a character. I don't think he's ever really had a character at all.
No.
Well, if it does, then this character sucks. And it's annoying.
Now, it is annoying, and I think that's exactly what they're going for.
Well, if that's what they're going for, then okay, but I don't feel like he's got any personality. Okay, he's acting on the level of a cheap porn film.
No, that's good. That's a good way to put it.
That's his
good way to put it.
Right
yeah.
now.
Yeah. And unfortunately, assuming Cole's injury is, it's a shoot, not a work. Probably gonna see this draw out a little longer than probably.
Planned. I'll bet you guys $1 to a donut right now that it's a work.
You think it's work?
It's gotta be.
I wasn't on board with that, but the more I've thought about it, the more stuff has come out over the last week. I'm thinking it's all a work.
Well, a little bit. Let's go back. I think he seriously sprained that ankle. Okay, there's no doubt. I don't think he broke his foot where he's got to have surgery, or broke his ankle where he's got to have surgery. So maybe we see him off TV for a month while he rehabs and he does these little skits. Obviously, we're going to get MJF and Jay White
at full gear.
So I think they will focus on that, and they'll put the ROH tag titles on a back burner, which I'm okay with. Give him a month off, rehab the high ankle sprain or bad ankle sprain, and then after that, then after full gear, then we'll go back to him trying to do two storylines at once.
I mean, I kind of hope that we find out who the mask guy and the other guys were at full gear or by full gear, since that's still a month and a half away, but maybe it goes longer than that.
I think it's Cole and Strong, and then another guy coming back from injury.
Kyle O'Reilly?
Well, I mean, you said it, not me.
Yeah. I hope. I mean, I want to see him back. He's been out a long time, but I know he's dealing with,
he had
neck fusion. Yeah.
But also, hey, so did Ciampa. And
Yep. Majin, just once in those segments, I want Adam Copeland to walk in screen instead of Cole when Strong keeps shouting his name, or Hangman Adam Page. A lot of Adams in the company. So up next, we see Griff Garrison out on the screen. Haven't seen him in a while. Maybe they're trying to counter program with Brian Pillman Jr. now being part of NXT. I don't know. Then
Griff Garrison.
Then Wardlow's music hits. We hadn't seen Wardlow since June, and he comes out with a little more hair than when we saw him last, and he doesn't have a happy look on his face. He's got a serious look on his face. Throws Griff into the corner, stomps away on him, and then follows that up with 5 consecutive power bombs. Then the ref stops the match. Wardlow jumps over the barricade and heads to the back. All business. I like that out of Wardlow. I like the aggressiveness, and I'm fine if they push him as a heel again. I think it fits him better.
Yep.
I think the dude's money, but
I think he is. I think they failed with him as a heel. Varsity Blonde. No, that was his.
Yeah.
that was his. Yeah.
Yeah, Varsity Blondes.
Yep.
Yeah. Hollywood Blondes was Pillman and Austin.
Right.
It was the Varsity Blondes with Griff and Brian
Pillman Jr. Yep.
Yeah. Easy, Majin. Don't get us explicit rating already, please.
We're there
you
already.
already did.
Damn it.
I even was nice and censored myself when I said that.
Well, then I don't have to worry about when we get to the main event and
Nope.
censor that. Anyways, what the hell was I talking about? Damn it, Majin.
Wardlow.
I think they failed with him once as a heel, and then they completely dropped the ball when he was
100%.
when he was a face, and he was over.
Oh my God, was he ever after Double or Nothing last year?
So
Those kind of sounded like another type of chant.
I can kind of get on board with you, Tanner, saying that it'll be easier for him to work as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
But he still got a pretty damn good pop tonight.
He did. I mean, I think people like him. I mean, I'm a big Wardlow fan, but I want them to use him correctly because he's the type of guy I could see WWE just drooling over when his contract's ready. So, I mean, it sure
We
looks.
just
I
saw
mean,
that happen with Jade.
I know, and I don't know how they're going to use her yet, but it sure seems like they're going to go all in and use her pretty heavily.
She's going right to Raw the last time I read.
I read rumors she might be at Fastlane in Indianapolis this weekend.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
And Monday night, Michael Cole even kind of hinted at that as he said, as we're on the road to Fastlane, another person who's been on their own fast lane here lately, and then starts talking Jade.
Yep. I don't think he did the symphony tonight. I didn't see that out of him. I didn't see him tuning the band.
He did.
Nope, just boom, 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 out we go.
Yep. And there's plenty of big guys he can work with, even as a heel in the company. So I like it. Hopefully they heat him up again because he's and I knew he'd be come back soon because Tony Khan was asked about him in one of the media calls and said he was still, Wardlow's still heavily into plans and that he pretty much hinted that he'd be coming back soon, but I didn't expect it to be tonight. So
does he have a dad?
I don't know. Oh no, he doesn't. Remember, because that was part of the storyline with Joe. They talked about his dad passing away. Oh God. Christian's gonna jump in there too.
That's what I wanted to see how long it'd take you to catch on.
Oh Lord! But we then saw Callis and Takeshita backstage. Callis revealed that Sammy Guevara is medically unfit to perform tonight. However, he said there's no shortage of young male athletes who want to show their wear and earn their spot in Don Callis' family. On the recommendation of Will Ospreay, he has looked and picked Kyle Fletcher, the team with Takeshita. We then got a trios match that was not advertised. We got the Acclaimed defending their trios championships against the Butcher, the Blade, and Kip Sabian, which I was thinking of Paul tonight when I saw Kip Sabian because I know Paul likes him.
Yeah, I'm a big Sabian fan. I've always enjoyed him in the ring.
And not much to speak on this match. I mean, the Acclaimed were successful in their title defense. So
in what, 3.5 minutes?
Yeah, 3.5
Something
minutes
like
or
that,
so.
yeah.
So yes, Majin, can we give Keith Lee something to do? A Wardlow versus Keith feud would be good. I like that. I like
do too.
that.
I do too.
Yeah, Keith's another guy they kind of haven't done much with since they signed him.
Well, I've been very outspoken about bigs versus bigs.
Yeah.
Smalls versus bigs and blah, blah, blah. But I thought Warlord and Powerhouse Hobbs put on a pretty good match.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Warlord could work really well with a guy like Keith Lee, who is very agile for his size. So I could get along with a couple matches with those two guys. So not a bad idea.
Miro too. Miro would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I know he and Wardlow have had a feud in the past, and Hobbs has been mixed in there. But I mean, they're all. I mean, you can do it again. Just switch the roles. Up next, after that trios match, we saw Tony Storm being interviewed by RJ City. She screams at him for talking about the time she's been in the business. She questions whether or not she has it, but then she realizes she's timeless. It's then revealed that timeless Tony Storm will debut tonight, which the internet was loving. The internet loves this character.
Oh yeah, it's
she is pretty good at it.
I love this character.
Yeah, she is pretty
it's
good
a modern day Marilyn Monroe, and she portrays it perfectly. You know, she tweeted that she misses the old days of putting on a hat backwards and slamming a pie in someone's face, and you're loved. But this character is perfect for her.
Yep. Yeah. Up next, we saw her shoot husband, Juice Robinson, and the Ass Boys, Austin, Colton Gunn, come out. No Jay White. They're mocking Adam Cole a little bit while saying they're out here to talk about MJF. The question that they all have for MJF was tofu. Then Juice calls out MJF as he has some explain to do. If he's a man, he'll come out and face him like one. Juice was cracking me up on the mic tonight. MJF comes out, says there's been a lot of accusations. As he takes a couple shots at all the guys in the ring. MJF then gets some crowd chants going back and forth.
What were those chants, Tanner?
Ass Boys and Talented Taint, wasn't it? Talentless Taint. Which Juice with the camera come up on him. He's saying that he's rock hard and pointing right at himself.
He had a rock hard taint.
He was killing me. But MJF's pretty much saying he's nothing but honest because he is a scumbag, but he's everybody's scumbag. He knows for a fact that he didn't attack Jay White. He suggests they have a street fight right now. He goes in, wants to take all the Bullet Club on 3-on-1. They all scatter out of the ring. Everybody's like, why are they scattering? They got the 3-on-1 advantage. Well, Jay White's behind MJF, and he drops him with the Blade Runner. He then holds up the AEW World Championship, making it clear he wants a future title shot. He takes it with him. White then said he's cut above the people MJF is used to dealing with, and MJF's cheap games won't work here. He says they're not buying what MJF is selling about him not being the attacker last week. White says he knows the real MJF, who's a pathetic, dirty liar. White challenges MJF to put the title on the line at Full Gear in LA at the Forum. He says MJF can try to prove him wrong. He will fail. MJF then accepts the match. And I got to say, that title did look pretty good with Jay White.
So,
with a different strap, yes.
Before we dive into this, what other title feud have we had a month and a half to build on?
It's been a while.
I'm
during MJF's reign.
I wanted you to answer that because I feel like as of recent criticism and recent criticism, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
With the AEW product, and I think we've talked about it 3, 4, 5 months past.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of story building has been a topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Especially when there was a 80,000 sold out Wembley Stadium, and there wasn't a lot of build up / storytelling to said that. And I think Tony Khan got a lot of criticism for it. So here he's going to put a guy that is a ex New Japan heavyweight champion, held one of the most prestigious belts ever in professional wrestling, and he's going to put his main event star, who has a side hustle with the ROH tag team titles. He's gonna put a 6-week program together, and I can super appreciate that. And I think it is to combat all of the haters, all of the keyboard warriors, all the shit you and I read throughout the week, so super pumped about this and really looking forward to how it plays out the next 6 weeks and how they evolve this match and make it something that obviously it's going to headline Full Gear.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I believe if MJF makes it through Full Gear, he'll be the longest reigning AEW World Champion ever. He'll surpass Kenny's reign. So, yeah.
And then after you do that, the whole next year, what's the gimmick?
It's contract year 2024.
That's right. It's the bidding war of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's a whole year storyline. You thought the Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold Steve Austin was a boss versus a employee storyline. If you could think this could get any better, Tony Khan needs to get involved with this in 2024. He's got to. He's got to get the awkwardness and get himself on camera and get almost as fluid as MJF. I don't know if he can do it. I really don't. I don't think he could be the heel that Vince McMahon could be. But he's got to try. And we got to see what we can do, because whether or not he already re-signed the contract or not, we don't know. But if he did or did not, we can still make a hell of a story out of it next year.
Yeah. That's one thing about MJF. I'm always anxious and curious what's next for him. So, because I honestly thought at the start of the year, I thought his title reign was starting off pretty slow. But I feel like this second half of 23, it's been pedal to the metal, all go. It's been really good. So, ever since after Double or Nothing, which I understand the 4-pillar storyline, but I know a lot of people didn't really care for it. And that was when MJF was behind big time. But after that, I feel like the rest of the title reign's been really good. That's kind of when Adam Cole became involved in it. So,
yeah. Yep.
Up next, we see Orange Cassidy and Hook backstage. Hook says Cassidy should be facing Phoenix next week for the International Championship, not Moxley. But Cassidy said no. He points out that Moxley was champion for like a few weeks, unlike him, who was for like 11 months. But it's fine. Orange is depressed. He's not getting a rematch.
Yep.
And I did like when Hook offered Renee a chip and she said no. Taz said, raise that boy right.
And then Excalibur says Renee's famously known for only eating ketchup.
Chips. Yep. That must be a Canadian thing.
Yeah. Majin, do you eat ketchup chips?
I feel like it's a Canadian thing. I'm not trying to offend anybody out there, but
yeah, sure you are. Here come all the keyboard warriors. That Tanner, he's against Canada.
See, he said it is. So I thought it was. I like Canadians. I got nothing wrong with Canada.
Look, somebody's going to be offended on behalf of Canadians because of you saying that, Tanner.
Probably.
You're going to get us canceled.
You are trying to get people offended with me, so I see what you're doing.
I thought dipping the chips in mayonnaise was like, that's a German thing here, right? I think it is. German, Canadian, same thing, right?
It's not a U.S. thing, right?
Wow.
No,
it also depends on what.
A U.S. thing is we take those Lay's chips that he had, we put a bunch of greasy taco meat over it with cheese and jalapenos, and
we call them nachos.
Then we call them nachos because we're a bunch of hillbillies.
But here's my question for you, Shep. When you say dipping the chips in mayo, are you referring
what a rabbit hole we're in talking about
potato
potato chips?
Are you talking true potato chips, or are you talking like England's chips, which are just French fries?
Both. Done it both ways.
Okay.
And not that Miracle Whip BS, the true mayonnaise, Hellman's mayonnaise. Miracle Whips that's for a bunch of soft millennials.
I knew something like that was coming.
They can't
I like
handle
Miracle Whip.
You know, I saw this the other day in Kroger. If you buy a 2-pack of Miracle Whip, you get a participation trophy.
Yes. I'll never get the KOP title again because y'all cheat, so it's okay. I'll take my participation award.
We can get a nice one. We'll shine it all up for you, Paul.
All right.
I'm gonna
Just
find
don't turn it
Hellman's.
sideways.
I'm gonna find a Hellman's or Miracle Whip, some type of metal on eBay, and I'm gonna buy it for Paul.
All right.
Yeah.
I will wear it every podcast.
I got the KOP title. Shep's got the Denton. Paul's got participation trophy.
Hey, we can talk about the Denton because one of these days.
Not yet. Not till January.
Oh, okay. Tanner will play that someday.
It is in the KLP library, yes. In the archives. We will pull it out one of these days.
We'll play it one of these days.
Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita versus Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega. I like this little tag team of Kenny and Chris. Different, but I like it. The Alpha and Omega. Fun match. I actually thought, even though Kyle Fletcher took the pin in the loss, which pissed Callis off, I thought Fletcher looked really, really good. He can really go. We already know Takeshita can go. I enjoyed this match a lot. But in the end, it was a code breaker, followed up by the one-winged angel. After the match, though, Powerhouse Hobbs appears, takes both Jericho and Kenny down, continues attacking them both outside the ring, launches Omega over the barricade into some chairs, gets him back in the ring, duct tapes Kenny to the ropes. Hobbs tries to use a chair, but Jericho steps in front of him. Then he attacks Jericho. And then Callis wants the chair and just straight up nails Kenny unprotected to the head, which I didn't think we were doing this anymore in AEW. Even Excalibur and Taz said that's a different era of wrestling, and Taz kind of said, "Yeah, I've taken a lot of those in my day," but as long as nobody got hurt, it's good stuff.
Kind of gave me a flashback to, I think it was Ty Dillinger hitting, or
Cody hitting Sean Spears. Or
yeah,
no, Sean hitting Cody.
Sean hitting Cody.
The lip cut him open in the back of his head.
Yeah. Yep.
It was either Fight for the Fallen or Fighter Fest, one of those two. That was before Dynamite was even on the air, which we haven't even mentioned tonight. Was the 4-year anniversary of Dynamite, which is pretty incredible. It's already been 4 years, and look how far the companies came. I mean, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but at the end of the night, our ending segment was Christian Cage and Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, in the AEW ring on the 4-year anniversary of Dynamite. Like, I would have never imagined that in 2019. That was even a possibility.
The only thing we missed was Gangrel.
Yeah, I could see him making an appearance. He's made an appearance before, so
he's a nut.
He is
he's a nut.
Interesting dude.
I'll save it for the main event.
What do you guys think about Hobbs being part of the Callis family?
I feel that Hobbs has to be a part of a faction because he is not strong enough to be on his own.
And this is better than the QT Marshall TMZ stuff they had him doing. QTV.
You got to get away from that because I think QT, with what he's doing in AAA, if he can bring that to AEW, he could be one of the top 3 or 4 heels in AEW. Like he's doing really, really well, but he's just got to be put in the right spot in AEW.
And I don't know how much longer he's got to be with AEW. I know he extended his contract through December, but he's a guy I guess he going to the WWE because he's so tight with Cody.
Yeah,
I don't know what they do with him, but
what would you do with him?
I don't know.
QTV.
Majin said Hobbs needs a mouthpiece for now. Callis is the perfect mouthpiece for him. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. Oh, I mean, Callis is forming a nice little stable for himself. Guevara, Takeshita, now Hobbs, and Ospreay occasionally.
So, and we'll get into this because it's going to happen next week. Is Callis the Paul Heyman of AEW?
Yes.
But can he get to Paul Heyman's level?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think anybody can. I think Paul's not good.
I agree with Tanner.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Oh, wrong Paul. No, I mean Heyman is like the
He's the
closest
GOAT.
thing Bobby the Brain Heenan is the only other thing that I can think of on kind of the same level as Heyman. That's just me though.
Yeah. Back in the day, I thought Jimmy Hart was pretty good, but he was with so many talents.
Pick a talent, and there was Jimmy.
Yeah. Paul was just so. Paul can draw you in and make you feel like this shit is real.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what Callis lacks. So,
Yes.
and I think
Well, yeah, because that scar just changes colors every week.
it does. It gets redder and redder, then it gets faint, then it gets. The only thing that stays consistent are those stupid rhinestone shoes he wears. That's the only thing consistent. But also,
And the sunglasses.
I'm pretty sure Callis learned from Paul when he was on ECW.
Cyrus the Virus.
Cyrus the Virus. So, I mean, he's been taught by Paul. So,
He gets more heat than Paul.
Paul
As far as getting booed from the crowd.
Yeah, the reason Paul doesn't get the heat is because everybody is just drawn in by Paul. Like he gets that mic and he starts talking, and you're just hooked immediately.
Yeah.
Because he has that effect on you.
Yeah.
And he's got his own little version of a catchphrase, and it works for Heyman. Now, I don't think Callis could do that.
But let's go ahead and kind of dive into it. I was going to save it for another segment or two, but we're getting a little war next Tuesday. Dynamite's on Tuesday next week instead of Wednesday, title Tuesday. So KOP will be coming to you next Tuesday night, not Wednesday night, live after Dynamite. And NXT is also on Tuesday night. So they're going head to head. And Triple H decided to load up NXT pretty heavily, bringing the big guns. John Cena and Paul Heyman are going to be on opposite corners of talents in the main event there. Cody Rhodes is going to make a major announcement. Asuka's going to be on defending her title. And I think I'm missing another match.
While you think of that, I'm going to ask this question. Is Cody coming to NXT to announce a change to the Dusty Rhodes Memorial Tag Team Championship?
I mean, that'd be fitting, something like that.
Probably. But you got a small arena that holds 1,000 people, and his music's gonna hit, and that place is gonna erupt.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he will announce anything that affects NXT him personally. So yeah, if he announces some type of change to the tag team tournament, yeah. But I don't think it's going to advance any of his personal storylines. He's there for one reason only, and it is to counterpart Adam Copeland.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason he's there. I 100% get it. And the reason we're having Dynamite on Tuesday is because of baseball, right?
Yep, the playoffs. Yep.
Yeah. So that's the only reason we're having John Cena is going to show up in an arena with less than 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
Nope.
This is on purpose. And I'm not hating on Trips and Shawn Michaels for doing this, but it's almost kind of blatantly obvious.
But yeah, like Majin says, for a company that doesn't see AEW as competition, their actions say otherwise. Oh, I think, and I still think, I mean, Vince still has some say to it, and he's still pissed that they got whooped by AEW every Wednesday night, except 2 when they went head to head. So they're putting all hands on deck here to try to win one night of the ratings against them.
Yeah.
So, but I like what Tony did in Counter tonight. I thought he put some really good matches on the card for next Tuesday, but didn't get outside the stories. He kept it within the stories for the most part. So, I mean, Swerve against Danielson. I mean, there's really no
there's no
story there, but the winner is number 1 contender for the TNT title, which is pretty cool. Those are 2 big names. Saraya against Kuroshita for the AEW Women's title. There's a story there because Shida lost it at All In and hadn't got a rematch. Jay White against Hangman. I mean, there's some old Bullet Club stuff there.
I saw an interesting post that got me thinking, and you just said it and it brought back up. Bullet Club years ago said they were going to take over professional wrestling. The Bullet Club has taken over professional wrestling in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
The Elite, the OC, the Bang Bang Gang, the Bullet Club that's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the OC nowadays?
Raw, I think.
Carl Anderson returned to SmackDown last week. Gallows is getting his knees. He got his knee scoped, so he's out a little bit. So, yeah. So they'll be back. Also, you got Moxley and Phoenix for the international title, and then Adam Copeland making his in-ring debut against Luchasaurus. So a lot of good stuff. Tuesday night, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm Tony, I send it home with a big angle of some sort.
I think you will. You got to send it home with the dumbass MJF, Adam Cole.
Another layer to it.
Yeah, you got to make. We did not see that appearance tonight.
No.
So you got to bring it back. Absolutely.
Majin says, "Swerve, baby, give me a long Swerve TNT title run after Christian gets his." Yeah, I'm ready for Swerve to get a singles title run.
He deserves it.
We after the tag team match, we saw MJF backstage in the trainer's room. I had a laugh. Caster comes up, tries to give him a massage. MJF freaks out because they are playing into their little Twitter stuff. So I thought that was funny.
Which has been going on for a while.
It has. It is funny they alluded to it. I like how AEW doesn't run away from that stuff because they know their fans are pretty smart when it comes to that. Then he tries to call Adam Cole, but it goes to voicemail after a few rings. So that's why I appreciated them earlier showing the stuff with Roderick Strong. Just because of this. He's too busy with Roderick. He can't answer MJF's phone calls. So MJF's going to end up getting his heart broken over this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dynamite Diamond.
Well, if that's the case down the road, then they're 100% in for him to be a face for the next 8-9 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If that happens, which I'm okay with. I think he can handle it and will run with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get our lone women's match of the night. Toni Storm and Sky Blue. Toni Storm introduced herself to Sky Blue and the referee. Then headbutts Sky Blue, excuse me. Throws her across the ring several times. Blue tries to turn it around, but misses Wiley with a splash in the corner. But she caught Storm with a forearm strike, but Storm responded with one of her own. Then nails a running hip attack, sends Sky out of the ring. She then claims it's time for a titty slap right when it's going to picture-to-picture. She proceeds to chop the Blue right along ringside. And then back and forth a little bit they go, but in the end, Toni Storm attacks Sky Blue and hits a Storm Zero for the win.
I like the new gear from Toni Storm. She had straight black flat gear tonight. She had wrestling boots instead of the wrestling shoes and the kick pads. I think that fits.
Smeared makeup.
The smeared makeup, yeah. So I think this fits her new character, and I really like it. I didn't think I would at first, but I kind of really do, and I think she's really good at working this character. So I can see her playing this out for a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they found something here. I think she's the best thing going in their women's division. So we then saw a card for Rampage. I don't remember all the matches off the top of my head. There were some good ones. I do know there's a 4-way match for the number one contender for the ROH World Championship, which brings Stokely Hathaway on TV. and says a Rampage, a new number one contender, will be crowned for the ROH World Champion. They want a champion that smells like Tom Ford, not Burger King. I popped.
I did too, because there's a gentleman, and I popped for a different reason than you did, but there's a gentleman in the Indiana area on the indie scene. His name is Marshall Taylor, super talented guy. He's a heel. He's a king style character. So everybody chants Burger King at him. And so I might have popped for that reason.
It's Burger King's and Newports. I knew I was forgetting something. Thank you, Margin.
Burger King and Newports, which is right up Kingston's alley, because he's from that side of the hood.
Yep. I had Burger King for lunch today.
Well, we can't have Burger King here because ours is still burned down.
It still hasn't opened up.
But
no.
Now, again, I'm not a smoker. I thought they were getting ready to outlaw menthols, and Newport was like the king of menthols.
Newport is, the king of menthols, but I don't know. They've been saying that for years. I don't think it'll ever happen.
And all right, you guys are a little young for this, but my era, who made Newports famous? Not a wrestler. He's a musician, so there's your hint.
Come on, Paul. You work in radio.
Yeah, come on, Paul. I plan you.
Yeah.
If you guess this, you got to. If you don't guess this, you got to play this guy's song tomorrow, or one of his songs.
Don't know.
Tupac.
Tupac. I didn't listen to Tupac.
Tupac was a huge Newport guy. Christian, go fuck yourself is turning on X. That nice. Appreciate that, Majin.
Yeah, speaking of, let's talk about the main segment of the show, the last segment of the show. Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge's Dynamite debut. Well, we saw him earlier in the night on screen, but he came out this time with his entrance and everything. And I love how he put Tony Schiavone over. So it's a big deal being in the ring with Tony Schiavone, as he was the voice of his childhood. But then he said, okay, now's my ring, so you can get out of here. He reacts to the fans chat, and Adam says he hasn't heard that one before, and he likes it. He recalls when he was told he could never wrestle again back in 2011. But here we are in 2023, and he's standing in an AEW ring. He says there are a few reasons why he came here, and he's pretty sure the AEW Heavyweight Championship would look good around his waist. Then there's a whole roster full of first-time matchups for him. He lists Moxley, Omega, Miro, Powerhouse Hobbs, Jay White, Juice Robinson as the reasons to be here. He's here to challenge himself with something brand new. The main reason he came to AEW is because he sat down with his family, and his daughter, Lyric, who's 9 years old, told him to go have fun with Uncle Jay. Thought it was cool he brought that up, and he goes, as you guys know, I'm Christian Cage. Thought that was cool. He then calls out Christian, tells him the main reason he is in AEW and the TNT champion, makes his way down to the ring. Copeland says they were best friends before they were even in the industry, but this industry made them realize they'd be friends for life. Says he did what he did at WrestleDream, attacking Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus, because as he sees him stand there like that, almost ready to attack Sting, which I loved how he's getting real emotional talking about that. He said he looks like more of a dick than usual, but he still loves him because he always will. However, he saw Christian standing. Well, that's when he said saw Christian standing over Sting. Can't stand to watch Christian smash him. He said it's time for them to team up for the first time since 2011. It's time for them to face teams like FTR and the Young Bucks. The crowd's chanting one more time. Then Christian wants the microphone. They hug it out. Then Christian straight up tells him to go fuck himself. And he leaves. And then he reminds him that on Tuesday he's facing Luchasaurus. And Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne come out. But it was bleeped out on TV, but on Twitter or X, you can find the uncensored version.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fans were recording all over the place.
Fantastic stuff.
So I thought this was really good.
Jeez, here I go. Adam Copeland is so strong on the mic. I forget that at times.
Yes.
And Christian's not a slouch.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
No.
So I think we get I think we get these two at Full Gear, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, I think we get I don't think we get quite the Cody and Dustin moment where I need my brother as a tag team partner type deal after their bloody match. I think we get something along those lines. And then I do think we get a little tag team run between those guys.
Yeah, do you think their final match of their careers will be against each other?
No, I would say the final match with those guys would be them versus FTR, then versus the Bucks.
Yeah, which
FTR, FTR just because they're friends.
We know Christian extended his contract for a couple more years. So,
I mean, I really think Edge has got to be late 40s?
49.
Right?
It's 49.
I think Edge has got 2 to 3 years left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you guys try a full schedule.
Yeah.
Majin said, "I'm sorry, but with their long ass careers, how the hell have Moxley, Claudio, and Samojo never crossed paths with Adam before?" Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Moxley was
came after Edge was done in 2011.
Out of WWE when Adam
came back.
Cleared back,
yeah.
And Claudio just never happened. They were there together though.
The only member of the AEW roster he has a lot of histories with is Danielson.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of possibilities.
Christian and Jericho. I mean, you could say that.
Oh yeah. Thanks, but yeah.
The biggest thing is, and he said it in one of his interviews. I don't know if it was a Sports Illustrated or somebody else's. He would love to be in the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He threw out Okada,
but
he also made the comment he feels free now, right? So I relate that as he feels free to do what he wants to do on AEW television within reason. But if he says, "Hey, this January, I want to go over and wrestle in Wrestle Kingdom," he can 100% do that. And it'll probably be encouraged. So, I mean, I would be stoked to watch him wrestle in the Tokyo Dome. Like, I think I talked to you guys last year. I woke up at 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And watched.
Folded laundry.
And folded laundry. Yes, I did. Yeah. My wife's like, if you're going to get this early, you're going to do something. But, yeah, I hope that happens because the only problem is I got to go work later in the day because it's a Monday, Tuesday, right?
Right.
So I can't have any adult beverages.
Right.
Which kind of sucks.
Well, I'm sure you could, and nobody would question it where you work.
Well, now Paul,
they just go, "Oh, it's Shep."
Shep's more professional than that.
I know he is.
Mundo here on YouTube. I'm glad he brought this up. Did anyone notice that the Punk chants are gone? 100% Copeland took Punk's place. I was just going to ask you guys. I know there's still a lot of people on the internet upset that Punk's gone. But if you could replace it with one guy, I think Adam Copeland's a pretty good replacement.
Yes.
I think tonight there was a very, very strong message sent by AEW and Tony Khan that we don't need Phil Brooks, CM Punk. We can have a locker room leader, and I think Adam had talked about that in his interviews in the past. Like I will be a sponge, or not a sponge. What's the opposite of a sponge? I will help anybody in that locker room. I will be that locker room leader. Basically saying I'm going to take CM Punk's spot without saying I'm going to take CM Punk's spot. So.
Well, FTR and him are buddies, so they lose a buddy, but they get another good buddy. So,
well, and I love Adam mentioning tonight. You know, the crowd starts chanting Adam, and he just is smirking like crazy. He goes, "Never heard anybody chant that one before."
And he talked about himself in third person. He's like, "Not doing that again."
Doing that again. Yeah.
If you guys watch the Edge return on Peacock. The WWE did a documentary. When he decided he was coming back, Triple H sent a ring to his house, and Cash Wheeler was his training partner.
Mm-hmm.
And when Cash couldn't be there, then it was his wife who suplexed him, which he still talks about to this day. But him and Cash are super, super tight.
Well, and if you guys recall in 2021,
yeah,
in 2021, FTR was already part of AEW, so he couldn't mention their ring names on WWE TV, but there was an angle where Rollins was going to attack Edge's home and Edge wasn't there. And he calls Beth on the phone and says, "Go get Daniel." Daniel is Cash's real name, and they're neighbors.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they are really close. So, I got a few more comments here. Majin says, kind of hope Beth joins Adam. A mixed feud between Adam Copeland / Beth versus Adam Cole and Britt is enticing to me. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Hey, she's free.
Mundo says, and I am a Punk fan, just let down too many times. Understandable.
I'm kind of right there with you.
Understandable.
I'm right there with him.
Majin, he mentioned that as his answer to the question if Beth would join him. Something about he'd love to have his kick-ass wife there who could suplex him. Yeah, because he said he bounces ideas off her and everything. So
did anybody see Bree's comments this week?
No.
Bree made a comment that she could come back and she would love to work with her husband and go against Cole and Britt. So, and then they asked Daniel about it, and he goes, "Hey, she can do whatever she wants." Basically, they're waiting a year or two till the youngest boy gets a little bit older, and then she's really thinking of a comeback.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep, and Danielson was also asked about her. Yep, so all the guys are getting asked about their female counterparts. So
Yeah.
Mundo said, "Remember, WWE is no more. It's TKO now, plus Ziggler going to AEW. Oh, Dolph could. I think December is the soonest he could join, which is right around winter is coming. So that is something to keep an eye on.
that's his 90 days.
I believe so. And Shelton Benjamin, who AEW was supposedly really interested in, while he was even under contract. So.
What about a guy that's out there that I don't think has the 90 days is Sami Callihan?
Yeah, he's a free agent. Yeah, he was just interviewed by Fightful. So it sounds like he's going to do some indie stuff for a while, but I think he's open to working wherever. So he and Mox have a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
So Mundo, no, I don't think John Cena's ever going to show up in AEW.
Cena is WWE's
too loyal.
Modern Undertaker. He's never going to go to another company.
Too loyal. So, and I mean, heck, just like we were talking about, the guy is showing up on NXT this Tuesday. So, and right when the strike's over for the actors, he'll be back in Hollywood. So,
yep,
whenever that is.
It's over.
Well, the writer's strike is. They can write stuff, but the actor's strike's not over yet.
Oh, I thought it was.
I don't believe so, unless I'm mistaken. I could be mistaken. I know the writer's strike's over.
Yeah.
Sammy could hit perfectly in ROH. Mundo says Tessa Blanchard is apparently CMLL bound. I did not see that. I did not know her whereabouts nowadays.
Well, she was.
I have
Tessa
not
was
kept
working
up
for
with
that
her.
that crazy promotion that's.
Wow.
No.
Oh, she wasn't WoW for a little bit.
They had a Dark Side of the Ring name. The old porn director.
Oh yeah.
And he came back here like the last 6 months and put on some shows, and she was working for him because that's all she could get. So
she kind of buried herself.
Yeah, to see her go to CML would be a huge hurdle for her.
Big for her,
so
yeah.
I hope it does.
Undertaker was only loyal because WCW said he could never be a star. Crazy stuff. Look it up. Yes,
That's
when
true.
he was. Yep, before he went to the WWF. Yeah, and WCW did not think he'd be anything.
And they got rid of his red beard and his red hair.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So rating for tonight's show.
Go for it.
Shep, go ahead. Oh, okay, fine. Everybody says Paul. Jeez, Paul will go. All right. I'm at a solid 7.9 tonight. I thought it was a good show. I don't have too much to complain about. The trios match just didn't fit on the card. I know they needed to buy a little bit of time, but it didn't fit. I enjoy the fact that we're bringing Twitter into this, into our backstage segments now. So that's always an enjoyable thing for me. But yeah, 7.9 and Majin almost to the 10. If I ever give the show a 10, it's probably going to be the end of the world.
I quit. I thought it was a pretty good show. Wrestling wise, we had some really good matches. Yeah, the trios match I could do without. So I agree with you there, Paul. The end was super strong, man. I loved it, which bumped me up a couple points. So not as high as Paul, but I'm at 7.6.
7.6,
which I think is pretty high for me.
I would have broken to 8 if Adam would have referenced a 5-second pose. I'm just saying.
Give it time. Well, I'll be the high one tonight. Surprise there. I'm going 8-1. I'll crack the 8s. No, there wasn't much I could complain about tonight. There was an interesting spot where they did 3 callbacks to show either something that happened at WrestleDream or last week. It's 3 in a row. Boom, boom, boom. I've never seen them do that before. It kind of felt like Collision a little bit. Collision does a lot of that stuff. But I thought they did a good job of explaining things tonight. I thought commentary did a good job explaining things. Even like one thing that could have lost points for me was the duct tape spot because the duct tape came off Kenny's arm, but they took their time to reapply it. Thought that was good too. Just little things like that. So, no. Majin says I'm going to be the high one like Tony Khan.
See, Majin Tanner can't be because he likes to just tell everybody how it's just good shit.
Mundo says 7.5. Phoenix, Tony, and Christian knocked out of the park, but the audio sucked. Yeah, the audio was a bummer. And he says, should have used Gorilla Tape.
That stuff sucks coming off of the arms. I've had that. Indies are quick to use Gorilla Tape, and that stuff sucks when it gets stuck on your arm.
And I don't think Tanner has enough coffee.
I'm not a coffee drinker.
And white substance to be on TK's levels.
Nope. No, I don't. Don't have the money he has either. So.
Well, and like I said, he can never be TK because he just likes to remind everybody that's good shit.
Yeah, that's true.
God damn it.
I always forget that Tanner is a distant cousin.
Oh, you're gonna get people really thinking that.
No, you are. I mean, you and Shane McMahon are distant cousins. So,
I brought it down a notch for you.
Hey, Shane was one of my favorites growing up. So I'd take being related to Shane now. Now as crazy dad, not so much.
Well, if you're really I shouldn't say that. Sorry, I almost called you a dumbass. If you're related to Shane, you're related to Vince.
I know. I
mean, come on. I'm not a.
I know, but I was saying if you're going to refer to me being related to a McMahon, I'd rather refer to Shane than Vince. That's what I was trying to say, but I didn't word it correctly. I can't do the Daniel Garcia dance, but Tony can.
You could be related to Mr. Levesque, and then you're related to Shane that way.
Then I'd have to talk like this. Rabbit hole.
It's the game.
All right.
No comment. No comment.
It's an interesting rabbit hole. Wrestler of the night. Shep goes first this time.
Wrestler of the night, I'm going with
can't do the Nana.
Mr. Phoenix.
You're
Mr.
going
Ray
too high.
Phoenix. Well, I'm too
it's all
short.
in the elbows.
I'm too short, so the
What the hell are you guys doing?
Nana
Nana.
dance.
Oh my god!
Because he swerves when he drives.
Ray
Hey,
Phoenix
that-
for Shep. Good pick.
That is all over the internet. I mean, I saw somebody scored a touchdown and hit the Prince Nana after.
No, they didn't. No, Prince Nana is a worthless piece of shit.
He retweeted us last week.
He did?
Yeah, because I tweeted how ultimate heel move by Swerve not letting Nana hit the Nana dance, and he retweeted it.
Okay, maybe not. All right, you're only a half piece of shit, Nana.
He is like one of the most over things in the company right now, if you like him or
Yes,
not.
he is.
So annoying.
Look back to WrestleDream. The entire audience is doing it with him at points.
So stupid.
Paul, wrestler tonight. Shep's was Phoenix.
Majin just took mine, so now I got to sit here and think.
You can take his. He's helping you in with a right in there.
Yeah, no, it is Jay White. You know, just out of nowhere, drops MJF, hits a hell of a promo. I love Jay White on the mic. He is so good. He is very talented in the ring as well. So I am extremely looking forward to Full Gear.
Well, I am taking an easy way out, and Mr. Adam Copeland is mine. Shawn Mike work tonight. AEW Dynamite debut. I'll take him slightly over Timeless Tony Storm. I almost went with my first female for a while. So, but
Looking
going
like
with
more
Adam
of a
Copeland.
dick than usual, Tanner.
Which, speaking of Adam Copeland, we recorded before this episode a Adam Copeland quiz. So go check that out tomorrow on our YouTube channel. You can see all of our quizzes. We have a good time doing those. So hopefully everybody's enjoying those. Yeah, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Yes, Mundo, Juice is a national treasure. Juice Robinson is fantastic.
You think that
He just looks like that cereal guy. I can never remember the little character's name.
Tony the Tiger.
No, he was the crazy one with the poofy hair. He was like just a giant ball of hair.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know what kind of freaking cereal y'all ate as a kid if that's your cereal character.
What cereal brand was that?
You young bucks, no pun intended.
Now you're gonna have me leaning and doing the flex pose.
Don't rip your shirt, Tanner.
You know, I haven't managed a target yet, so. Oh, the honeybee.
Yeah, honeycomb cereal guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him up so I can share the screen.
See, back in the day, like when I think of honeybee, like if y'all remember the Killer Bees as a tag team in the WWF, they were twin brothers that wore masks, and then yeah. Anyways,
found the guy.
I just text you guys it.
And what the hell
I'm
is
trying
that?
to share the.
That's Juice Robinson.
Yeah, no. Here what I was going to say. Do you think that?
There he is.
You think they look at Juice and Gorilla and go, "All right, Juice, we need to half-ass tame it down." And then this is the Juice we get. Could you imagine if they just like told Juice, "We don't
let him loose.
What you do, just go for it."
Be Juice.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bang Bang gang, they're so good because Austin Gunn's out there too. Cole's a little more reserved, but yeah, they're good.
I mean, he's literally sitting there straddling the rope saying "rock hard taint," like with the crowd.
It demonstrate. I mean, he's pointing right at it. Yeah,
no, it's great.
And then legitimately stood with his leg over MJF's head so that he could clearly see it.
Yeah, he's
twice.
Jay White coming into the company was the best thing that happened to Juice Robinson because before Jay White came in, they weren't doing much with him at all.
Exactly.
No, 100% agree.
Yeah, AEW is definitely letting the Juice loose, Majin. That's for sure. And the Gun Club's entrance is great with the water. Yeah, they're good characters.
I don't know if I go the best fucking entrance ever, but it's pretty good.
It's one of the better ones for AEW, I'd say. Julia Hart's got a good one too.
Shep read the rest of that comment for you, Tanner.
Yeah, I just went for it.
That's all right. I let one out tonight. That's Juice gonna get so many fines if they let the Juice loose.
Yeah, Mox got some fines over the weekend, so.
Hey, well, actually, you know what? So this has nothing to do with professional wrestling, but it has everything to do with what we're talking about with fines. So you got Pat McAfee now on ESPN, and they're allowed to drop F-bombs. They have a chart, like how many days without an F-bomb, and they were up to 4, and then yesterday happened, and Darius Butler dropped an F-bomb, and he's like, guess we got her, like, and McAfee, like, that was part of his gig, like going to ESPN, like, look, you can pay me all the money in your world, but we're gonna be ourselves. So, I mean, we're getting to the culture of this stuff being acceptable. So,
yeah, I was watching a program earlier on AMC earlier tonight, and it does give a viewer discretion vibes, blah blah blah. But and AMC's on cable, but it cusses like no other. So, yeah, we are.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, let's play a little audio, shall we, before we wrap this up? If I can get my stupid. I can tell Paul's looking forward to this.
Paul didn't watch.
What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, Paul, you didn't miss much.
I saw the start of the show with Mommy coming back and yelling and screaming at everybody, and then Cody runs out to save Jay, and that's about where I turned it off.
Yeah, Cody actually made 2 appearances. Went in the ring and went on stage to do a promo. But long story short, it's going to be Cody and Jay Uso versus the Judgment Day Saturday Fastlane in Indianapolis for the tag team titles.
Do they win?
No way.
No.
That would be so stupid. The first title you put on Cody when he comes back to the WWE is a tag title.
It's good shit, man.
No. I
mean, if you want to give the titles an overhaul, you could do it that way. Put it on Cody, have him change the titles again, and then turn around and drop them.
It takes away from what we all think the storyline is going to be going into Philadelphia. So,
we thought that was the storyline going into Mania last year.
Okay, Paul, but we're trying to be smarter this year.
I'm starting to think it's Rock and Reigns.
Here's what I think. I think it's Cody and Roman night 1. Cody goes over, and he goes over clean, okay? And as he's celebrating, and Roman's going up the ramp, because they're not going to take away from Cody's celebration. As Roman's going up the ramp with his head hung down, he gets confronted by The Rock saying how big of a disgrace he is. And that leads to the main event of night 2.
I could see it being flip-flopped. Roman goes over Rock night 1, and then Cody goes over Roman night 2. So that's the very last thing you see at WrestleMania is Cody getting his moment.
If that's the case, then we never see Rock on television ever again.
But
if he puts over his family,
yep,
Rock is completely done. Never again.
Well, it has been since WrestleMania 29. He's wrestled a complete match, so it's been a long time. So he probably doesn't have much more in him.
Man, I think he does, but I mean, Rock's got to be late 40s too, right?
He's not wrestling fit.
That was an excuse last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Fastlane, Indianapolis this week, and the Survivor Series next month in Chicago. That kind of gets the ball rolling with a lot of things.
Are you guys going Saturday?
I am not. Tickets are too expensive.
I looked at those, and my son's a huge wrestling fan, and I said, "Sorry, Bugga, we're not going." He goes, "That's fine."
It would have been cool to see, of course, Cody, but also John Cena. I've never seen him live. That would have been
Yeah.
cool. But
Shep, you going?
Nope. Never even looked into it. And because my wife scheduled family pictures, so
Hey.
yeah.
All right.
What do you do?
I looked once at the prices, and then I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." Good.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And when you say how bad are they?
I mean, you're not even the upper deck. You're not gonna find anything for under 100 for upper deck seat. Upper deck at Bankers at Bainbridge.
$100 for upper decker?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So if you want anything decent close, you're gonna spend a lot for a not even a big 4 pay-per-view.
That's not good.
Which is crazy because I mean I know inflation and everything's different than it was in 2006, but I remember I got like 14th row seats at Great American Bash for like $70 back in 06.
Yeah, but you saw the great Punjabi match.
I did. At least Undertaker won. At least it was cool to see Undertaker, but yeah. He beat Big Paul White. Supposed to be Khali. That was the most jinxed, cursed pay-per-view ever. That whole card switched the week before to just trash.
I'm looking here. Hold on. If you want to sit ringside, second row right now, you're paying $642 a ticket. If you want to sit ramp side, $308, 9 rows back.
Isn't that like what you paid for all 3 of ours to sit ramp side?
Yep.
Yeah. There's yeah.
Yeah.
So behind commentary, so if you can picture where commentary be, 8 rows back, you're $326 a ticket. Yeah. Well, I mean, if anybody's obviously a subscriber at Peacock, you're just gonna watch that.
Yep.
If you want to sit lower bowl, this is what's even more ridiculous. Lower bowl in Conseco is pretty good. We've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool venue. 15 rows up in the lower bowl, you're still going to spend $250 a ticket. So pay the $59.95 a month or whatever the hell it is for Peacock.
$5.99, not $59. $5.99.
$5.99 or what? $11.99.
Yeah.
$5.99 with ads, $11.99 without. So,
and if you're a big college sports fan, especially the Big Ten, not only do you need it right now for football, you're going to need it for basketball because the basketball TV network schedule came out, and there is some big time matchups on Peacock this year.
Isn't there an IU Purdue game only on Peacock?
In Bloomington, yep.
Yeah.
Tanner, that's your other podcast.
It is. Which you guys will laugh at this. I've opened that podcast back week going, you're listening to the Kicking Out podcast. Oops, wrong podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trust me, Purdue's gonna have to do a lot of kicking out this year.
All puns intended.
I'm just gonna shut up.
Oh hey, I found out here about an hour before we went on the podcast. There's a chance I get to see the Warrior Wrestling show in South Bend this weekend, which we did have Eddie Kingston main event.
I pulled him.
He pulled himself with his lower back injury. Now we have Mike Santana. I noticed he's putting Mike in front of everything.
Yeah.
Now, right? He's in the main event with a guy from Chicago, I think. Local talent, whatever.
Takeshka's still on the card too, right?
Takeshna's on the card, and the AEW talent is Sky Blue. So
she's from Chicago. That makes sense.
Yeah, we'll get Santana, Takeshna, and Sky Blue. Last year, the thing was loaded with AEW talent. A little bit different. There's only 7 matches announced right now. Maybe we'll get a couple more. So
You know why there's not as much AEW talent on the card this year, don't you, Shep?
well, here's another thing. You notice it's on a Friday night instead of a Saturday night now, because if you want AEW talent, you can't have it on a Saturday night because it's going to go against Collision. So I think Warrior Wrestling thought, let's do it on a Friday night so we don't compete.
Well, that and all the AEW talent's scared of the indie god. You know, he did send a message that said, "Don't come to my territory, or I'll come to yours."
There's a couple things that hoping that he shows up late, but I don't think he will.
He got attacked by Mance Warner.
Yeah, him and Mance
media.
Warner have had a good feud in MLW. And Mance Warner's nuts. I kind of like him.
I've seen him on AEW before.
Yeah. And speaking of the indie god, there was one guy he attacked right before he announced his indie god. You guys know who it is?
Mike. Before he announced as indie god.
Yeah, which we're what, a year or two into this indie god thing? A year in.
Man, I don't remember
the guy he attacked at GCW, Nick Wayne.
Ah.
Yeah. So
I'm interested to see what he's gonna do as a heel.
Whatever Daddy tells him to.
Here's the other thing. I'm talking about Cardona. At one point in time, and I know he's making good money, and he talked about it. At one point in time, does the Stanford look at him and say, "Okay, let's work something out here. We're not going to bring you back as Zack Ryder. We'll bring you back as Matt Cardona, the indie god, the death match king or whatever. Like, let's work something out, because right now that dude is golden."
I think he'll have one more run there eventually.
It's just a matter of time.
But not as Zack Ryder, though, right?
No.
No.
He's got to. If he's going back, he's got to do exactly what Cody said. Cody said, "I'm only coming this, and this. Like, we're not changing anything up. If you want me, you can have me. If not, I'm not coming." So, yes, Muna, we are ready for Tuesday. Title Tuesday's gonna be a good
absolutely.
show. Yep.
So you're putting the belt up, right?
Nope. Full gear.
It's Title Tuesday.
Full gear.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't have the belt with me right now.
That's true. We gotta get. Hey, Paul, we gotta get a new one ordered. Where'd you get that one at?
UndisputedBelts.com.
All right.
We'll work on a new one. Anyways, I think Paul and I put that damn belt up like 3 times in 4 weeks.
Well,
yeah,
Paul did the rare Dynamite challenge.
Well, because we're fighting champions. And let's not forget, Shep didn't even have the belt last time he won it. It went from you to me. It bypassed him because you're a slacker and didn't get it to him.
It's true. It's a good point. So I feel like it's only applicable that you put this thing up next Tuesday. And after Collision, when we get all the matches announced, we should do a special Sunday or Monday show. Put this thing up on, you big wimp.
Let me sleep on it. I'll sleep on it. You get that song stuck in my head, I'm going to punch you on Friday.
Tanner's not going to be able to sleep tonight because he's going to see the chicken.
He's going to walk in the door Friday, just bam. I'm like, oh, yep, it worked.
Tanner goes to bed and starts mumbling that, and his wife rolls over and smacks him right across the face.
Well, yeah. That's probably more likely.
I love it.
Anything else as we wrap up tonight? We've only went for an hour and 39 minutes.
That didn't include the quiz.
No.
The AEW ran 10 minutes late. It has just completely thrown everything off for us.
I noticed that they were a complete 10 minutes late tonight.
Tony asked for the overrun because of the audio issues, but my guess is there was already overrun planned, and then he added like 5 more minutes to it. So,
because I think they get to 10:05 if they need it.
Right.
without
Yeah.
any issues.
You got to do that if you're Tony.
Yep. It was worth it.
Mhm.
That last segment was gold.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. So what
And
are
he
you going to do
tweeted it out,
here?
too.
What are you guys going to do here in a year if Raw is not on USA?
What
With
do you
their
mean?
new
What are we
deal?
going to do?
Their new deal. So the SmackDown's going to USA, and there's a chance they move Raw to a streaming platform.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that? Does that set a precedence for AEW with their deal with Warner?
Yeah, I'm anxious to see when the deal's gonna be struck because I thought they'd have some by now.
Which is what's Warner's streaming platform, Max, right?
Max, but I mean, it's gonna be interesting because it sure seems like Tony wants to run about a pay per view a month now, but you can't ask your fans to pay $50 a month every time. You can't. You're gonna have to get a streaming deal, or if you're gonna run a pay per view a month, you're gonna have to take the cost down.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a contract with Bleacher Report?
Well, I think the only reason they do Bleacher Report instead of Max is Max doesn't have the capability to do that right now.
Okay.
So I think they're working on it, but yeah, because I mean, no, I'd be fine with paying whatever. I already pay for Max. I'd be fine with doing that if I got a pay per view every month, but I'm not gonna pay $50 every month.
So
you already pay for Max, Tanner?
Yeah, I think
So
it's
do I.
$9.99 a month. I think.
Yeah.
You pay for the Peacock,
Yep,
which
Nope.
is what?
$5.99.
Okay.
And the reason I did that was for the WWE network, because I like to watch some of the old stuff in documentaries. But now with the Big Ten agreement, I'm glad I did that.
Which you were, if you were an old school subscriber to WWE, it was $9.99. So
Yes.
you got a deal at $4 off a month.
Yeah, and you still get some good shows and movies on there too. I mean, it's worth it. But it is crazy, these streaming wars. I mean, to get everything you want, you're paying pretty much as much as you did for standard cable. If you add it up.
Yeah.
I still pay, and I haven't watched one in a while. I'm probably 3-4 months behind. But I did pay the $4 a month for the all-inclusive Fight network, which would give me GCW pay-per-views, which usually GCW pay-per-views you paid $15 for those. So,
but it'll be interesting to see what comes out of all this, because there could be a lot changing for the wrestling industry in 2024. Not only talents jumping from one company to another, but with TV rights and everything. So
the bidding war of 2024. Let's go.
Let's go. It's going to be here before we know it.
So I'm looking through Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, because I saw something interesting.
I still
from Tony
call it
Khan
Twitter.
earlier.
I do too.
Call it Twitter.
I do too. And I saw something earlier from Tony Khan, and I wanted to share it with you guys, and then I lost it. And apparently it's not here anymore. But it did lead me to find that when Tony Khan was tweeting out next week's card, at the very bottom it says, "My birthday."
It is his birthday. He said that on the post scrum from at WrestleDream. He said it is his birthday next week.
So happy birthday to himself.
Because when he said that, Adam Copeland laughed at the media scrum. Like, he didn't know what to say, so he just started laughing. So Tony's like, it's going to be a great birthday. All right.
If that's the case, I think my out of the left field prediction, Sami Callihan shows up on that show.
Mercedes. Saraya retains, Mercedes comes out.
She's got to be close to being healthy.
Got to be close. So that's my prediction. Paul, any prediction?
No, I don't have any.
All right. Paul's ready to wrap this thing up.
Exactly.
Okay, look, I've been up for like 18 hours.
I know you have. You're ready to, the wise man. Man.
I've been stringing this along because that's just me. So
Yes.
All right, Paul.
All right. So be sure to follow the Kicking Out Podcast on all social media platforms at Kicking Out Pod. Be sure to check out the Kicking Out Podcast shop at kickingOutshop.com. Be sure to listen to the Kicking Out Podcast wherever it is you listen to your podcasts. And if that happens to be Apple Podcast, leave us that 5-star rating because we are 5-star KOP. And with that, be sure to follow Tanner Lee on all social media at TannerLee92.
The champ.
Follow Austin Shepard at the Shep27.
It's not there.
Who just realized his name changed. Tanner already realized his and changed it back. Be sure to follow myself at Paul Zartman921.
The wise man.
And with that, for Tanner Lee and Austin Shepard, I'm Paul Zartman. Join us again next Tuesday night after Title Tuesday as we kick out yet another podcast.